Let's travel back to a time when Earth was filled with creatures scarier than dinosaurs. Imagine a world where not only dinosaurs lived, but also other frightening beasts that would make even the toughest dinosaurs scared. Nowadays, we're grateful to only have to worry about lions, wolves, and sharks, as the past was a much tougher place. Today, we'll explore ancient animals that were more terrifying than dinosaurs. Titanoboa. Imagine seeing a snake in your toilet or shoes. Pretty scary, right? Now, think about a snake that's not just big, but a whopping 42.7 feet long. Meet Titanoboa, a supersized snake from nearly 66 million years ago. It's way scarier than any dinosaur. This giant snake, related to today's anacondas, lived in the Paleocene epoch. It was about 42.7 feet long on average. That's huge. Even the young ones were bigger than today's 1-foot anacondas. No living snake today is longer than 1 feet. So Titanoboa was a real giant. Scientists found about 30 Titanoboa fossils, mostly adults. They think these massive snakes spent a lot of time in the water, making it easier for them to move around and find food. Imagine a snake that big sneaking around. That's one ancient creature you'd want to avoid. Megalodon. Every year, dozens of people face shark attacks, many of them unprovoked. While only a few of these incidents are deadly, just imagine how different those numbers would be if the megalodon still roamed the oceans. The megalodon lived around 23 to 3.6 million years ago, during the early Miocene and Pliocene periods, belonging to the extinct family called Odontidae. It's related to the great white shark, but is the final chronospecies of the giant shark family. We're relieved to know that the megalodon was the largest shark ever to swim the seas and one of the biggest fish ever recorded. Its teeth were about 3 times larger than those of the great white shark. While it's challenging to pinpoint their exact size, scientists estimate they were around 34 feet, but could grow as long as 52 feet, making them the largest fish ever. Jaclopterus. Did you know more people are afraid of scorpions than spiders? Those folks would probably be happy that the Jaclopterus is no longer around. This creature, called a sea scorpion, could be as big as a human hand or even as large as a human ecologist. The Jaclopterus was a huge arthropod that lived a really long time ago, about 431 to 418 million years ago, during the Silurian period. Fossils of this creature were found in many places in the northern hemisphere. Picture a sea monster with a segmented body, 2 big eyes, 2 small eyes, and a mouth underneath its head. The Jaclopterus had large pincers, like a lobster, scorpion, or crab, which it used to grab and tear apart its prey, even though it had a scorpion-like tail. Sadly, the Jaclopterus disappeared during the Permian extinction, a time when about 95% of marine life went extinct. Dunkleosteus. We all know that the great white shark is a scary creature we wouldn't want to encounter up close. If we did, making it back to shore safely would be doubtful. But did you know there was once a fish even more dangerous than the great white? Maybe scarier than any dinosaur? It's called Dunkleosteus, and we're relieved it doesn't exist anymore. About 380 million years ago, during the Devonian period, this fish ruled as the top predator. It was a placiderm, an armored fish, and could grow up to 33 feet long. Its armor made it a tough customer, better protected than many other fish. But that's not all. Dunkleosteus also had a powerful bite, even stronger than the great white shark. We're lucky this ancient fish is no longer around. Hallucigenia. In 1977, a man named Simon Conway Morris discovered something so strange that he thought he might be seeing things. That's how weird this creature was. The odd organism he found is called hallucigenia, and biologists have been studying its fossils for decades. They're trying to figure out if its head is really its tail or the other way around. Thanks to cool tools like electronic microscopes, we now have a better idea of what hallucigenia is all about. Hallucigenia lived around 540 million years ago during the Cambrian explosion, a time when Earth saw a sudden burst of new life forms. Scientists are puzzled by this creature, but they know it has two modern relatives, both types of worms. It had throat teeth on its legs, along with jaws, and its body was tube-like with 7 pairs of spines on top. The bottom part had lobopod limbs with tiny claws at the ends. Even though this little critter wasn't a danger to humans with fierce attacks, its weird look makes some people think it's scarier than dinosaurs. Gorgonops. The Gorgonops, a kind of therapsid, got its name from the word gorgos, which means dreadful. And believe me, the name fits. Gorgonops lived a long time ago, around 250 million years back, in the late Permian period. It was first found in Africa in the 19th century, and Sir Richard Owen named it in 1876. This odd creature was as heavy as a cow and as long as a great white shark, reaching about 10 feet and weighing 1,000 pounds, even though we don't have many fossils. Scientists think Gorgonops was a big predator with scary teeth that could take down almost anything for a meal. They weren't as big as dinosaurs, but they kind of looked like them. Scientists guess Gorgonops might have been warm, blooded with fur, although drawings usually show them without hair. Despite some mysteries, we're pretty glad these creatures aren't around today. Can you imagine encountering a Gorgonops? Yikes! Helicoprion. For many years, the Helicoprion has been a mystery in the ancient marine world. Even though we don't know everything about it, what we do know is that it's way scarier than any dinosaur. The Helicoprion is unlike any other shark, especially when you look at its teeth. Fossils of Helicoprion have been discovered since the 1800s, and most of them show a set of teeth like a buzzsaw, raising questions about its anatomy. Experts have debated where these teeth were located, where they were just for show or for eating. Various theories suggested different places on the Helicoprion's body, even its tail, but none seemed quite right. Now, what they figured out is that the Helicoprion was about 25 feet long and had a circular saw, like mouth with teeth that rotated back into its mouth. This unique dental setup would have been handy around 250 million years ago, when there were plenty of soft-bodied cephalopods. Phorusrhacids. Imagine being scared of birds, a condition called ornithophobia, which can already be tough with the birds we have today. Now, think about the terror if Phorusrhacids, also known as terror birds, were still around. People with this fear might never step outside. These terror birds lived from around 62 to 2 million years ago, and they were huge, flightless, and carnivorous, growing up to 10 feet tall. Picture this. You toss some bird seed on your lawn, expecting regular birds to show up. But instead, a bird almost twice as tall as person casually walks in for a snack. These terror birds were the top predators in South America, during the Cenozoic period, ranging from Texas to Florida. Not only were these birds big, but they were also fast and mean. Scientists think they could sprint up to 30 miles per hour, earning them the name terror birds. While there are many frightening animals out there, Phorusrhacids or terror birds are definitely at the top of the scary list. Imagine if huge dinosaurs roamed our world. That would be awesome. But when it comes to these creatures, they don't sound too friendly. Which one do you find the scariest? And if you had to pick, which one would you consider having as a pet? Comment below.